Okay, this is my arrow rain cannon, which basically shoots a huge barrage of arrows right in front of the cannon within about 50 blocks, but you could adjust the range depending on what you want. So basically how this works is you start up a clock which shoots a bunch of arrows out of these dispensers using a comparator clock, and it just sprays arrows all over the slime block pad. And then when you hit the button, TNT dispenses, and after a certain delay, the slime block retracts right before the TNT explodes, so the arrows are suspended in the air right as the TNT explodes, launching all of them off. And it's pretty simple to operate too. And this is also adjustable, so if you want the arrows to be more spread out when they launch, what you could do is make the dispensers higher so that when they shoot onto the pad the arrows are more spread out, or do it closer to have more precise clusters of arrows all around. So you can see the TNT explodes, and one tick short of the explosion, the slime block pad retracts and launches all the arrows everywhere. And obviously the more arrows you launch in the beginning, the more arrows that are going to be spread out, and the more likely you are to hit a target. Okay, so let's get building. So in order to build this arrow storm cannon, what you want to do is get all of these materials, and then the TNT and the arrows are just for loading up your cannon, and you just want some extra blocks to build with. So let's get started. So we're going to get started with the area that the TNT is dispensing and launching the arrows from. So start with 3 furnaces or some other immovable object just right next to each other in a row like that. Then get dispensers, put them towards each other, and then just get some building blocks so that you could place your dispenser facing inwards. And then place your 2 building blocks on the side here, so you could run redstone all along the top. And then get your button and put it right on the back of this dispenser, so this makes sure all 3 fire. So now you want to do your delay for the piston on the slime block, so go 3 in an L shape like this, then go 4 full delay repeaters, and then on this side you want 6, but the last one is 3 ticks instead of 4 ticks, so make sure there's a gap and it's not all the way to the back. And then from here place a building block, place a torch, and then place your redstone dust, place 3, go down and to the right 3, and then dig out a 3x3 area that lines up with this, and then place your sticky piston and 9 slime blocks, and then get an immovable object and put it here, and another one and put it right here. This is just to make sure that the water goes to the other side and doesn't destroy the redstone dust, and this one here is just to make sure that the water doesn't leak in from the other side. Okay, so now we can go to the arrow firing area. So place 5 blocks right here, and then get your slabs and go here like this. You want a tower going up. That looks like this. Now get your lever and your comparator. Put it here. Make sure your comparator is switched to subtraction mode. Make sure the light is on. And then put redstone dust here. And all along here. And extend this out so that it meets to the center. Now, lined up with the redstone dust, you have to put a dispenser facing downwards like this, and then go up one more and do more dispensers facing downwards. The higher up they are, the more spread out the arrows will be when they land on here, and then more spread out they will be when they go over there. So if you want it to go in really small clusters, then you put it right next to this, or like right above it. So make sure you cover these all up with redstone. Delete this block and then put redstone here. So that should be ready, and you'll know it works if you hear a bunch of clicking when you flick the lever. That's how you know it's working. And now you can load your water in here, and then load this up with TNT and load up that with our arrows. Okay, so I filled up these dispensers with arrows, and I filled up these dispensers with TNT. So now, in order to fire, flick this lever first, and then load up however many arrows you want to launch. And then when you're ready, just flip the lever to turn it off. So now you're fully loaded. Now just hit this button. And you should see all of this fly out and just hit whatever's all out in front of it. And you could also move these dispensers and add more dispensers wherever you want in order to adjust the spread to however you want it. And since we're using slime blocks here, it's really easy to adjust. And that's basically all you have to know for how to build this. And if you aren't able to get it working correctly, things to double check are, if you see water leaking everywhere, then you probably either didn't put a block here to make sure that the water doesn't go flow this way, or you didn't leave this area open. So if you have a block here, it's not going to work, because then the water is just going to flow everywhere. But if you break this block, then the water sees a hole, so it could flow down into it. When you shoot, if the arrows, if half of them stay on here, check that this delay is at 3 and not 2, because if it's at 2, half the arrows get stuck. So make sure it's at 3. And also make sure that after you make sure that before you fire the cannon, that you turn this off completely and then hit this button.